right, this episode of Foreplay is brought to you by our friends at BombTech. We want to tell you guys about a direct-to-consumer golf company that we are huge fans of. BombTech Golf is disrupting the golf industry as we know it. That's bomb as in explosion, tech as in technology and golf. While this is a golf podcast, we talk about golf. They are one of the fastest growing golf companies out there because of the quality and value they provide. BombTech builds clubs for the average golfer. They don't give a shit about pros, about retail. They only care about you. They may be pissing off the entire golf industry, which we obviously love, but they don't care because their only goal is to offer you, the regular golfer, the average golfer, the common golfer, more for your money. BombTech Golf offers the Grenade Wedge Set. That's 3 premium wedges for just $97. That's insane. 3 wedges, $97. You get a 52-degree, a 56-degree, and a 60-degree wedge for a total of $97. Like I said, that's unheard of. That's insane. The quality is incredible. I've been using them for a couple weeks. I love them. They look great. They perform great. These stainless steel wedges, they're backed by a 60-day guarantee. If for some weird reason you don't like them, just send them right back for a 100% refund. They ship the next business day, and you really cannot find a better performance and value combined. BombTech has partnered with Foreplay for an exclusive offer. Go to bombtechgolf.com and take an additional 15% off their Grenade Wedge Set using the coupon code BOOM15. That's BOOM15. One word, BOOM15. Seriously, while you're listening to this right now, go to bombtechgolf.com. Check out these wedges. They're phenomenal. Trent and I love them. Again, that's bombtechgolf.com. Go get your wedges.
This episode of Foreplay is also brought to you by SeatGeek. Buying tickets can be complicated and confusing, but there is a simpler way to buy with SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the smartest, easiest way to get tickets to your favorite team's games. With SeatGeek's seamless mobile experience, you can buy and sell tickets in just 2 taps. SeatGeek helps you find the best seats at the best prices, fully guaranteed. With baseball starting up and the NBA and NHL playoffs approaching, SeatGeek will get you closer to the action for a great value. I have the SeatGeek app on my phone, and it's by far the easiest way I've found to shop for tickets. I can be anywhere, and with just a few taps, I can instantly find seats. I actually just use SeatGeek. We are down in Augusta. We bought practice round tickets for tomorrow. We're going to be there. SeatGeek is designed to make your ticket buying experience easier than ever. SeatGeek saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find amazing deals. And to get you the most bang for your buck, SeatGeek grades every ticket based on value to help you immediately identify the best seats that fit your budget. Plus, every purchase is fully guaranteed, so you can shop for tickets on SeatGeek with confidence. And it doesn't end with sports. SeatGeek also has plenty of concert, comedy, theater tickets available too. Best of all of our listeners, the Foreplay listeners, get $20 off their first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code FORE, that's F-O-R-E, today. That's promo code FORE, F-O-R-E, for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase.
All right, welcome back to Foreplay. We are live from Augusta, Georgia.
We sure are.
It is episode 10.
Episode 10, 10 or 11? 10?
I think it's 10.
Okay.
Episode 10. We've been at it for over 2 months, almost 3 months now.
We've had a podcast for 2.5 months, and we're already at Augusta National. We're going to be at Augusta National.
We did that very quickly. Our journey here was interesting. I spent about an hour and a half just circling around Atlanta today.
Yeah, office manager Brett kept tweeting out pictures of your flight pattern. And at one point, it looked like the plane just turned around and headed back to New York or wherever you were coming from. And then it just started doing Dale Earnhardt donuts on the track.
Yeah, at one point I was like, do they know where I am and what I'm doing? Or are my friends just like, fuck Riggs, we're going to leave?
You also mentioned that the pilot, there was a gas situation. We might run out of gas, I don't know.
So I'm a big sleeper on flights, and you guys know this. And so I pretty much, anytime I take a flight, before wheels are up, I'm asleep. And I generally don't wake up until the wheels hit the ground.
It's a trait that I envy because I can't do that.
It's amazing. I don't really know how. That's just what I do. Fall asleep. So I wake up and we're not on the ground yet. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look out. All of a sudden the pilot comes on and he's like, yeah, so horrific storms in the area. We can't land in Atlanta. We're gonna go into a holding pattern. I'm like, oh yeah, classic. Holding pattern.
Sweet.
Sure. Whatever. So then about 20, 30 minutes later, he comes back on and he's like, so based on the gas level situation, We're going to have to make a call here in about 10 or 15 minutes whether or not we go to a different airport. And he kind of made it sound like it was like up to us.
That's what I was going to say. These are not thoughts that a pilot should be having out loud. He should be having these internally, not like, all right, we're going to take a vote. Do you guys want to just keep staying up here and then see what happens when we run out of gas, or what do you guys want to do?
That's basically what he said. He's like, yeah, we can kind of risk it. And if the storms clear up, we'll just land in Atlanta. And if not, we're going to run out of gas.
We're just going to, or third option, we'll crash this baby into the ground and we're all just dead.
So luckily, we ended up landing a couple hours late. Went down to the rental car place, which in Atlanta is like a fucking nightclub to get your rental car.
We walked into a Ja Rule music video down, or should say Ludacris for Atlanta.
There were Jeeps with like red velvet ropes around them.
Red velvet ropes, everyone was dancing. There was a Range Rover with all of its doors open, all the doors, the trunk, music blaring, lights going everywhere. It was a pretty cool thing to walk into, I suppose.
Is that a situation where they're trying to get you hyped up to like buy the extra shit?
Well, we've talked about on our last trip when we had a boondoggle down at TBC Sawgrass.
Just boondoggling.
Just boondoggled. And we hated the process. Like, if we don't want to pick the car, just pick the car for us.
Right.
This was the opposite of that. We walked in and I instantly felt better about it. I didn't care. I think it's the distraction.
So it was a lot of high energy. I kind of carried that high energy over and almost got in a vicious car wreck.
You did.
Pretty early on in the trip.
This is an important trip for us because none of us have ever been to Augusta before.
Yep.
So every little bit of Augusta we want to capture on a cell phone, on an Instagram story. Our guy Riggs is driving our Ford Expedition, which is an amazing vehicle.
Huge vehicle. Very nice vehicle.
Awesome.
Yep.
So we are driving, we're getting off on an exit, and there's a sign, one of those highway signs above the road that says Augusta on it.
That's the first time I saw Augusta in real life.
I get what was happening,
Yeah.
but you were so excited you were taking the Instagram story and completely stopped paying attention to the road itself, and the exit had become backed up with cars, and I still don't know how we missed the car right in front
The
of
Expedition, I have to shout out Ford. The brakes on that thing are unbelievable. Like we were smoking the car going like 40.
No, I like blacked out for a second because I was so scared. So I don't know exactly what happened, but the fact that we were not in that car's trunk is a goddamn miracle. Shout out to Ford and their great cars.
Excellent brakes they've got over there. That was a close call.
Also, one thing that happened right before that was we went to Wendy's. And I know, it's been a tough day for you.
It's been a weird fucking day to get to Augusta.
We went to Wendy's, which first of all, their drive-thru is backwards, which if you've ever been through a normal drive-thru, you turn left.
Yes.
You turn left going into it. And it's just, you don't think about it until you come up to a drive-thru where you turn right.
Yeah, it's typically counterclockwise, right? And this one you were going clockwise.
Yes, so we pulled up and immediately were sketched out by
Like,
turning.
what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, because like I said, you don't notice it until it happens. Anyway, you ordered like 3 junior bacon cheeseburgers. Me and Octagon Bob got Baconators or something. Got up to the window and the lady ID'd you for the burgers. It was a strange occurrence.
She's like, yeah, it's $26. I hand her my credit card. She goes, I'm going to need to see your ID, too. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? We're at Wendy's.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, if you get, like, how many burgers you order, sir?
Yeah, sir. Are you overserved? She said any order over $25 has to be ID'd, which is an insane proposition. Every time I go to a fast food place, it's over $25.
So it was a weird start for our first time in Georgia. Got to the house. Our house is nice, by the way.
Yeah, we had done a little bit of research before we got down here, and we only saw the outside picture, and it didn't look great.
No, like it looked horrific.
It did. It looked a little bit like a crack house.
Yep.
But now that we're inside, it's very, very nice inside.
We're very close to the course, which we drove by briefly.
If you check out the Foreplay Pod Instagram on the Instagram story, Riggs, again, while driving, went by Magnolia Lane very quickly, and you can see it. You can just see it, which I feel like we might get blacklisted just for that, but that's okay.
Augusta is a wild place. So we haven't been inside the course yet. We're going in, like Trent mentioned, we're going in the first time tomorrow, which is Tuesday. If you're listening now.
If you're listening to this podcast when it comes out, we are in Augusta.
We're in there. We're at Augusta National. We're scoping it out. There's no phones. There's no anything.
Yeah.
So we're going to be off the grid. But we got close to it. The town, it's like fucking Olive Garden, Hooters,
Arby's,
Magnolia Lane.
Yep.
And it's just like, wait, what?
We had talked a little bit about, it feels like we're back home in the Midwest.
Yep.
You're from St. Louis. I'm from Iowa. There's just these small towns that you grow up in where they have strip malls and really pointless, like weird stores. But then if you take one of those places and you put the nicest golf course in the world in the middle of it, that's Augusta, Georgia.
Yep. Shout out to St. Charles, Missouri, which is where I'm from, where anybody I know that's from there, it's exactly like Trent's saying. You're driving by, and instead of like where there's a Denny's in one of the spots, it's just the entrance to Augusta National.
It's insane.
You're like, what the fuck was it? Was that it?
I was curious to see how they shut out the view of people like driving through this shithole city.
Yep.
And it's just thick trees.
Giant trees.
Giant thick trees that wall off the entire thing. So we didn't drive around the whole thing, but we drove a good stretch of it. You can't see an inch of the golf course just driving in your car.
And we're naive. We're like, yeah, we'll just like be able to just drive by and see it and like hop a fence. Like, no, I think you get shot for sure.
Which wasn't totally untrue because that you did get a little piece of Magnolia Lane on that Instagram story.
That's
you
true.
could see it, and it was exhilarating.
My brother watched it like 100 times. He's like, I saw it. I saw it right there at the end. Another thing, we go into the Publix. I've never been to one before.
Me either. Jameis Winston fame, we talked about it a little bit today.
That's right.
Octagon Bob didn't know what that was, but yeah, it was my first Publix experience as well. Pretty special one, and why was it special?
As soon as we walk in, look to my left, there's Sergio Garcia with, I think he was like with his girl, with wife, fiance, girlfriend, whatever
in a
she
weird
is.
spider shirt. I don't know if you went back and looked at the picture.
Yeah, wearing like a spider shirt, just checking out at the Publix. And I was like, I had to do a triple take. Be like, oh, wait, that guy looks like... And then I'd put everything together because I'm an idiot.
Right, like
wait,
I'm in Augusta.
We're in
There's a golf
Augusta.
tournament going on.
Huge golf tournament. Huge golfer, Sergio Garcia.
I knew something was going on because we walked in, and like you said, it was to the left. He was checking out the registers.
Yep.
And I just turned right. I was ready to get there because we needed food because we don't have any food in this house. And you like... I knew something was up because you looked at me and you're like, what?
I was starstruck.
That's
not even the biggest Sergio guy in the world. Starstruck.
You could very recently on this podcast, it's only been in existence for about 2.5 months.
Yep.
Very recently we have ripped, I think I definitely said I hate Sergio. But it's one of those situations where I can hate on someone from afar and then I see them up close and I'm like, he's still Sergio Garcia.
Seemed like a nice guy. Saw him from about 40 feet away. We felt too smutty doing it, so we sent producer Rob to take a picture of him.
Yep.
Which he did. Good job, Rob.
We felt so smutty about it that we had the backup plan. If people were like, wow, why'd you guys snipe this guy in a Publix? We were going to say a stoolie sent it.
We were going to say someone sent it in. It was us. We just were fucking shopping for food because we're in Augusta National.
That's a story we'll have forever, though. Like, if you ever see a Publix, like, in any time in the future in your life, you can be like, the first time I went to a Publix, I saw Sergio Garcia.
Yep. Also, we had another from a distance celebrity sighting.
We did?
We drove right by Hooters.
Oh, yeah!
And Trent just got super jacked up.
As soon as I knew when I saw the Hooters when we drove into town, and it's like in the heart of town, I knew the RV was out there already, and I wanted to catch a glimpse of John Daly. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to, and as soon as we came around to kind of the front where you could see the RV, I saw glistening silver hair.
Can't miss the hair.
You can't.
No.
You cannot miss John Daly. There was probably 40 people around him, and I still sniped him. So, I mean, he's going to be around.
He's going to be around. There's a good chance we cross paths with old JD.
Yes, I would say that's a pretty good bet.
At some point, like we said, we're going in tomorrow. The plan for the rest of the week, the rest of the gang gets in to tonight, so Tuesday night when you're listening to this.
Yep. Dave, Frankie Borelli, All Biz Pete, those guys.
Yep. They all get in Tuesday night. Wednesday, we're going to be bumming around town, shooting different things, hanging out with a couple of people, making some videos, making some content. Thursday, we have a pregame show, pre-coverage show starting at 2:30.
Yep.
Goes 2:30 to 3.
Yep, bumps up right against the coverage when that starts.
So we're going to fill you in. We're going to be, talking about our experiences. We're going to have some guests.
Yep.
We're also going to be doing the radio show, Sirius XM, 12 to 2.
Thursday and Friday.
Natty Shack kicks in Friday.
Oh, yeah. Everyone show up. I wish I had the email handy that you can do.
I have it. Natty Shack at zenogroup.com.
That was clutch.
Professional podcasting.
So, yeah, Natty Shack starts Friday.
Here's how the Natty Shack works. It's sun up to sundown. You can show up and...
You got to be 21 and older.
You got to be 21 and older. Show up, and you can hang out, party with us. If you RSVP, you're guaranteed entry, and once you're in, everything's complimentary.
Yeah.
Everything's free. All the natty, all the snacks, all the cool pictures you're going to take with the boys.
Yep.
We're going to be there. Dave's going to be there. Smiley's going to be there.
You got to RSVP, because one thing we didn't realize until we got into town, or maybe we did because we had seen pictures of it, the billboard for the Natty Shack and where the Natty Shack is smack dab in the middle of Augusta, wherever all the traffic is. That place is going to fill up like a madhouse. But if you RSVP, you can skip the line and go right in.
It's just a giant billboard with Smiley Kaufman pointing down below.
Pointing down.
That's like Natty Shack right here, and that's where the fucking Natty Shack is. So we're going to be there.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome. Sun up, sundown, Friday and Saturday.
We're also doing live shows Saturday.
Yep.
2:30. Or wait, is the coverage a little earlier?
That's just on Sunday.
Okay, so again, live show 2:30 to 3, and then on Sunday 1:30 to 2.
Yep. And then we're doing a post show as well on Sunday, immediately following the conclusion of play. If it's really tight, we might do some sort of electric chair type situation. And we're going to do bonus podcast that's going to come out Friday morning, and another one that's going to come out Monday morning / as quick as we can get it up Sunday night.
Yeah, so next week, instead of Tuesday, we're going Monday because we want to do a quick turnaround for the Masters.
So a little greenskeeping there. That's the schedule for the week. We're jacked up. It's going to be really fun. We've never been here before. We're going to do later in the episode a full Masters preview, which I'm excited about. We're going to go through a bunch of different players. We're going to talk about the course. We're going to talk about the conditions.
We're going to talk about our expectations for kind of what, because like you said, it's going to be our first time tomorrow going in, so we kind of say what we think is what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, and then it'll be nice because on the pregame shows and on Friday's podcast, you'll get to hear a lot of our firsthand experience because we will have been on the course.
Yeah, that's why we are putting one in on a Friday, a bonus podcast. We're basically just going to spill our experiences about what it was like being in there for the first time.
So check into that. Before we get to that, we have some other things to cover. Shell Houston Open this past week. I kind of wrote in my blog that it's basically just to get us to the fucking Masters Open Championship, whatever you want to call it.
It is. You hate to shit on a tournament like that just because of its scheduling, but I mean, everybody just wants to be at the Masters. Everybody wants to talk about the Masters. I think I loosely paid attention to this tournament, and it was one guy was running away with it for most of it, and then Russell Henley kind of came out of nowhere and won it.
So I was in Austin the whole week and 4 days with a bunch of my buddies for a little annual Ryder Cup that we do. Barton Creek. Shout out to Barton Creek. Thanks for having us.
Looked like fun.
It was a great time. Tons of fun. Drank a couple beers. So, I mean, it's tough to keep up with the tournament when you're just playing golf with your boys all the time and drinking a stupid amount of booze and just being a dumb person in general.
Yeah.
But the one cool thing that can come from it is the guy winning, it gets him into the Masters.
That's what happened to Henley.
And that's what happened to Henley. So
that's what happened to Jim Herman last year.
Yes. So that's easily the coolest thing. Last minute, last opportunity to go to the coolest tournament of the year. He wins it. He made 10 birdies Sunday, which is insane. He overcame a 4-shot deficit. We also had Ricky in the mix. I think he finished T3rd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the other thing that we do have to talk about that we're probably going to shit on is the whole tape rain delay thing.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, when golf needs to figure this out. We've been talking about it forever, much longer before we had this podcast. I've been tweeting about this. Everyone's been tweeting about it before. The fact that golf tape delays coverage is in 2017 is the craziest thing in the world.
I can't figure out what else they can do.
I
guess the thing is that they're trying to go both ways with it, right? They're trying to tape delay it and then put it out, but also live update the results. You can't do both.
No, and they forget that this little thing called social media exists, and people are at the tournament and people know what's happening. Golf accounts will tweet out Russell Henley won. And I don't blame them for doing that. It's the other way. You got to blame the TV people for not airing it as it's actually happening.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
But there's so much commitment, scheduling, and all that. There's nothing they can do about it. I just don't know what they can do.
No, it's the type of deal. You're right. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and tear it down because right now they're stuck.
Yeah,
it's not going to get any better until they fix it from the ground up.
Yeah. So I mean, that was kind of shitty. Like I said, I came in from playing to sit down. I was going to watch it, and it was over, and I had already received notifications on my phone about who won. I was like, okay, sweet. So obviously I'm not going to tune into the fucking golf. when I know who already won.
That's the thing. That's where, like, because it isn't part of it that the advertisers are like, you need to have this block of coverage. But
Right.
I don't know if that's true or not. But when the winner is already out there on Twitter and everywhere else, you're not going to get, that's going to slash the viewership in a huge way anyway.
I just don't think there's nothing they can do about it.
I know.
Well, I don't think they're in a spot where they can do anything. So, whatever. That was the Shell Houston Open.
Yeah.
We're over it. Headlines. Hell of a Sunday for a day that the Shell Houston Open, like we just talked about, is not that sweet.
We just got done shitting all over the Shell Houston Open, but it was still maybe the best Sunday in golf thus far.
This drive, chip, and putt, bros before hose clip. I can't even explain it. I just found it. I couldn't stop laughing at it for like 2 hours.
We went back and forth a lot on Twitter with like jokes and gifs, but we were texting behind the scenes like, I don't know why this is so funny, but it's the funniest thing in the world.
You think any of those girls in that third grade class are watching you on TV right now?
No, but one of my friends, Tommy, I think is.
Okay.
Kind of a weird question, like, oh,
All those girls in
all
third
those
grade
girls in
watching
third grade,
it.
and he's like, no, but I think my friend Tommy is watching at home. And it's
That thought of just, I tweeted out a couple, but I had all these fucking visions of Tommy, like waking up, like throwing hookers off him, cleaning out a bunch of beer cans and being like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's fucking time to watch Carter.
I don't care
Like,
if you guys don't want to watch, I gotta watch Carter.
get out of here. Everyone, like, stop what you're doing. It's Carter time. And that's just the best friend in the world. Like, that Tommy is the fucking man. I saw all kinds of comments, people being like, Tommy seems like a great ass dude.
Huge Tommy guy.
Like, everyone was huge Tommy guys. It's one of those things that's really hard to explain.
You can't express it. You can't put your finger on it. My thoughts, though, yours were like pre Tommy's got to watch Carter.
Yep.
Mine were post. Like, what are Carter and Tommy going to do now? They're
Yep.
going to conquer the world. They're going to go into a sock hop like kings. They're just going to be.
Yeah, I saw like rolling into third grade, like, and they're like
Yeah.
fist pumping in the car.
Or there was the Chappelle gif where he walks into a club and he puts his hand over the
Yep.
girl's face. That's going to be Tommy and Carter. These type of moments come when you least expect them, but when they happen, this was huge. This was everywhere.
It was the minute I saw it too, I threw a quick retweet on it, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. Like that's just pretty funny." And then the more I watched it, it just got funnier and funnier. And I'm not kidding. I became such a huge Tommy guy. Like Tommy is the
Faceless
fucking
Tommy.
man. Like that guy just back home, and it's not just that he's watching; it's that Carter knows. Carter's like, no, like
Right.
those chicks aren't watching, but fucking Tommy
I thought a little bit about that.
is watching.
That means Carter and Tommy had to have some sort of interaction before he went to the drive, chip, and putt championship.
Yes.
That Tommy was like, "Hey, pal, I'm gonna be watching you."
Yep, like I'm watching. Let's
'Cause
fucking go. Like I'm
he
here.
could have said, "Yeah, maybe a couple of my friends, hopefully, are watching." He was like, "No, Tommy's watching."
Right, like-
I know Tommy's watching.
That's exactly what he said. He was 100% confident that he went out of his way on national TV to be like,
It's just-
no, Tommy's watching.
It just speaks to something bigger when it's like just your buddies are better than girls.
So that was great. And then it kind of took a turn when Tommy died down. Michelle Houston was running reruns.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the LPGA, the A&A Inspiration, they're playing out in Cali, I believe, so it was a lot later.
Yeah.
And, around evening time, Twitter just started to blow up with this Lexi Thompson 4-stroke penalty in one of the more absurd, I guess, unfoldings of penalties and golf controversy,
it
whatever
might-
the fuck you want to
yeah.
call it. It was insane.
I think it's the most insane. We've seen a lot of it over the years, but basically what happened, I'm sure you probably already know, but Lexi Thompson had a 2-shot lead. Well, yeah, at the A&A Inspiration, which is the LPGA's first major of the
Yep.
year, had a 2-shot lead, 12 holes through Sunday.
Yep.
And then on the 12th hole, somebody comes up to her and says, "Hey, you are getting a 4-stroke penalty from something that happened yesterday in the round. 2-stroke penalty for lifting your ball and placing it on the green, not back in the same spot. And then 2 more strokes because she then signed an incorrect scorecard." Lexi had a 2-shot lead on Sunday, went from a 2-shot lead to being 2 shots behind. And unprecedented from someone who had emailed into the LPGA Tour saying, "Hey, look, I
Who
saw it."
emailed in like midday Sunday.
That's
That's the malicious thing. Like, is there Is there some psycho out there betting so much money on Lady Golf that they called in midday Sunday to talk about us late Saturday women's golf like foul?
I wish I could get to a place in my mind where it has to do with gambling. I think this person just DVRs LPGA tournaments, which is weird to start,
Okay.
and then watches them maybe a little on delay, and he is such a loser that he saw it and he still reported it. In my head, I'm thinking.
I just can't. I
clear-cut
cannot
psycho.
fathom how the timing isn't somehow an indictment on the person's
Motives?
intentions and
Okay.
motives. I just can't. I can't get there. Why the fuck would they be DVRing and watching the Saturday round during the electric finish of the Sunday round? That doesn't make any sense.
It does not make sense.
Anyways.
In my head, I just thought he's just like a fucking scum of the earth. Somebody who just needs to kill themselves.
Anyways, emails in, like you said, they go back, they check, they assess the penalty. Everyone's pissed off. The whole world's pissed off. Here's my problem. I can't figure out who we're supposed to be blaming.
That's a good point. I think it's the LPGA.
But by all accounts, I'll play devil's advocate. They aren't making the rules, they just enforce them, and those are the rules they were given to enforce. So what are they supposed to do?
I think the person that sucks the most is the person that emailed in. But for the LPGA, I know the rules say that there's no sort of time limit on when these things can be emailed in. But there has to be, a woman can't be 12 holes into her Sunday round and then they're like, oh, hey, by the way.
No, I get that from a logical standpoint, but what I'm saying is that based on how the rules are written, yes, you can, and that's what they did. So who are we supposed to be mad at? Because every time they would go down another chain of like command, and they'd bring on another person. It's like, oh, this is from this person's from the rules committee of the LPGA, and then this person's from the USGA ruling body. Everyone was like, well, yeah, it really sucks. Nobody wanted this to happen, but it's by the letter of the law. So at what point do we get to where like this is the person that fucking sucks, or this is the group that sucks that we should be blaming?
I don't think we're going to get there until they are like, we're going to... you bring up a good point. I did not think of it that way.
But then if you're going to get to the point where you're like, well, they just need to change the rules. They just came out a month ago with a set of like, hey, we're going to relax the rules potentially in the future. So like, are you just pissed off that they're not doing it quicker? Are you pissed off at the original people that wrote the rules? Like, I can't figure out who we're supposed to be pissed off at, which is shitty for the game of golf in general. Like, how the fuck did we get to this point?
Yeah, the LPGA and golf in general looks like shit when anything like this happens. People are saying, oh, this is the most coverage an LPGA tournament has gotten. There are a lot of eyeballs. That is true in the moment, but long term, it looks like shit.
And everyone from a PR stance across the board, across the internet, across TV, is just shitting on golf right now. Like,
Yeah.
they're all saying, like, this makes golf look horrible. This is horrible. And I think the whole point that I brought up of, like, where the hell do we finally get down to the crux of the issue is also makes golf look like shit. Like, how did they build it to this point where something so stupid can happen and have such a brutal impact? I mean, what happened blatantly stole it from the player that played the best golf by a mile. Like, she should have won by 4 shots.
The fact that she lost in a playoff.
Winning by 4 shots, too, in a major championship is huge. Like, she dusted everybody and lost.
You bring up a good point about who'd be mad at. I want everyone to be mad at the person who emailed in.
Okay.
I'm mad at that person. I want their address and their name put in the public so everyone knows. And they need to go back. This is the thing about golf is like, why are we allowing people on their couches to call in and like dictate rules? Why aren't the people on the course doing that?
Right, and also the whole signing incorrect scorecard thing is so stupid now when you can't do it both ways where you literally let people call in from TV to talk about violations of the rules, but then players have to sign a scorecard, which is like archaic at this point. Because if you're watching them play golf so closely that you're calling half-inch penalties, then you don't need them to sign a scorecard. Who gives a fuck? Like, we know what they shot. Everybody knows what they shot. It's on TV.
And common sense has to prevail at some point where at the time when she signed it, it was a correct scorecard.
Right.
So maybe she should have got a 2-shot penalty for the ball, which she shouldn't have because that happens all the time, it seems like. But you got to say when we didn't know about that until the next day. When she signs the scorecard on Saturday after her round, it's a correct scorecard. So at most, it should have been a 2-stroke penalty.
Right, or just leave the signing of the cards up to like a correction.
Yeah.
Just say in X, Y, or Z scenario, if she signs the card, she can fix a score and then sign it again. In which case, they would have just given her a 2-stroke penalty and she would have still won the tournament.
What did you think of the actual replay itself when she picks the ball up and puts it down?
Well, okay, this is a whole other thing. I thought that, I mean, it was close enough to where I could see how she didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
I think looking at it, it was hard to, you couldn't argue that it was definitely in the exact same spot. I mean, it
Definitely
wasn't.
not, yeah.
But Paul Goidos, for example, had a great tweet where he was like, this happens literally every time somebody marks a ball, which
Yep.
if you want to get down to like physics and like the technicalities of it is correct. No one's ever replaced the ball in the exact same spot.
not possible.
Ever. It's not possible. So like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
And so this is just a whole other thing, that the fact that you can't even really draw the line, if you really want to get down to the physics of it,
Yeah.
then the fact that that's robbing her of this 4 strokes,
Yeah.
no less, which
not
is
like
absurd.
It's not like she fluffed her lie or did something completely ridiculous. You do have to watch it because you watch it in slow motion. Things look a little sketchy.
Yeah.
I will say. But when you watch it in real time, she just goes whoop whoop, and it's like
That's a great point. The real time one, because everyone started getting flooded with the replay,
Yeah.
or the slow motion one.
Yep.
And then somebody brought up the real time, real speed, and it was like not even close.
it
to
just looks
noticeable.
like every time everybody else does it.
Also, I mean, it was a little bit of a different circumstance because she was trying to stay out of her playing partner's way.
Right.
So she was trying not to step in her line, her playing partner's ball was behind hers. So she was off to the side of it a little bit, just typical golf etiquette, not getting in the way,
Yeah.
marking it. So
Bottom
totally
line,
unrelated.
Bottom
to,
line, you don't want a major championship to end with one of your stars in absolute tears.
Nope.
Because she lost it because of some stupid person who emailed in on a rules violation.
Nope, and that's on golf. Like, hey, just golf in general, fix it. Just be better and fix it. Anyways, Rory signed
Yeah,
10-year little contract extension.
I believe a 10-year contract extension with Nike. We probably don't have much to say about this, but I'm excited to see Rory in more Nike gear.
The one thing I will say is that I feel like Nike Rory is jacked Rory and non-Nike Rory is pudgy Rory. So it's definitely a good thing for Rory.
Yeah, as soon as he threw on the swoosh, he lost.
He just became jacked,
He's just jacked.
like immediately.
That's what Nike does. Nike produces winners. At least guys who look like winners. Rory is an actual winner, but it makes you look like a winner.
Yeah, and they signed J-Day at the beginning of this year, so pretty clear from Nike's standpoint. They discontinued all the equipment stuff in the fall, ramping up the apparel stuff. I think that's good. I like Nike gear. We
Yeah.
sell Nike gear. Go buy a Barstool Polo.
Oh,
Shout out to us.
nice. That's professional podcasting.
Yep,
I will
Barstool
say,
store, buy a Polo.
I've tweeted about this a few times. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast. I don't love Jason Day's Nike line so far.
He needs to figure it out a little bit.
Yep. Rory does it right. Rory knows what he's doing out there. Jason Day seems a little lost in the woods.
On the Nike train, not on the playing in the Masters train, Tiger Woods. You called it. He was going to send out a very depressing announcement late Friday.
Yep.
He did.
I knew it. We've been through this too many times. I even wrote a blog Friday at about 4:30. A couple of the guys at the office wanted to go grab beers. I had a long week. I also wanted to go grab beers. So I pre-wrote a blog that he was not going to play. Didn't even think about writing up one where he does play.
Wow.
Didn't even think about it.
I didn't know you pre-wrote it.
I did pre-write it.
And
I
then
was,
when he announced, did you just hit the publish button?
Yep. I was in an Uber with a few of our fellas on the way to another bar. And I was like, I'm glad I did this. I'm just going to open up the Barstool on my cell phone, hit publish, and not even think about it.
You know what, Trent? I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Because that's very impressive, but it's overall very sad.
It's sad, but I think I've grown. I think I've grown into, instead of not pretending even, selling myself that he's going to play. I keep telling myself he's going to play. You just flip it on yourself and you do it the other way. You say, he's probably not going to play. So then if he does, you're happily and you're surprised.
I will say I've reached a point where there are so many other storylines and so many other good, compelling players that it really didn't affect me that much that he's not playing.
No, and I think everybody kind of saw it coming. Although, let me read this quote from his agent, Mark Steinberg. Mark Steinberg told ESPN on Friday night that Woods was cleared by his doctors and therapists to play, and that the back spasm that sidelined him in February and plagued him for a few weeks had subsided. He was grinding pretty hard on this one. I don't believe that for a second.
I hate when they do this.
I know.
This is such dog shit. Like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
He's just not ready to play. Like, not even fucking close.
Not even
He's
close.
injured. He can't even walk.
Last part of the quote was he grinded on this up until today. Why? Just don't spit in our faces like that.
And Tiger says, too, he's like, my game's not quite Masters ready. It's like, no, your back is not, like, human activity ready.
No, he can't walk. He can barely stand. He can't do any of these things. So for them, it doesn't bother me. Like I said, I think we've both kind of grown where we're not as disappointed when Woods doesn't play. There's a lot of stuff going on in golf. But I still don't like when they come out with these quotes where, oh, he was really just losing whatever little bit of hair he has left grinding over this decision.
It's dog shit. We all know it's dog shit. Phil Mickelson,
Oh, yeah.
$2 million in some gambling here, Trent?
Yeah, so when he got in a little bit of trouble for some insider trading, if you remember from...
Yeah, he was like, not necessarily direct trouble, but like he was being investigated, and then like guys around him got in trouble.
Yeah, it was, what do you call it, like civil court or whatever, where it's not like criminal charges,
Right.
but they were like, you got to pay this money back.
Yeah.
But with all that, a lot of your documents and a lot of your past comes out because they go through all that stuff. And federal prosecutors, they broke down a bunch of stuff and found that he paid $1.9 million in a gambling debt in 2012 to this Billy Walters fella, who I don't know that much about, but apparently he's a big swinging dick in the sports gambling world.
Yeah, he's like bad news bears in the sports gambling.
Right.
Company. Like you don't want to owe that guy money.
Okay.
I feel like
So-
coming for your kneecaps.
Yeah. So when I wrote this blog, and I stand by the take, $1.9 million grabs a lot of headlines because it's $1.9 million.
Right.
But in Phil Mickelson's world, this is not that much. I feel like this is just him dropping off another bag of cash.
Yeah, and I just love it because it perpetuates all of these rumors that you always hear and kind of validates them, I guess. That Phil's just a huge gambler.
Yeah. And I also wrote in the blog that this does nothing but good things for Phil's rep.
Yep.
You couldn't. This is the type of crime where it's awesome to get caught.
Like, it's nice to know that all the little rumors and whispers that you've heard about Phil are completely correct.
It would have been really shitty if the paperwork had come out on Phil and it was like, yeah, Phil Mickelson paid $400 to some like low-key bookie that he knows.
No, fuck that.
Give
He's
me-
out there gambling heavily.
Give me $1.9 million.
So, again, great. It just kind of it reinforces everything you want to believe about Phil. Phil is who you think he is. That's great news. That's headlines. Coming up next, we are in Augusta National. We're going to do a Masters preview. Where, like I said, we're going to go through players. We're going to go through courses. Let's do this. This Masters preview is brought to you by DraftKings.com. The first golf major of 2017 is here, and to celebrate, DraftKings.com is hosting a free fantasy golf contest with $100,000 in total prizes up for grabs. Whether you live and breathe golf or if you're just looking for a new fantasy sport now that football has been over, 1 week fantasy golf at DraftKings is for you. And fantasy golf on DraftKings is very easy to play. You just pick 6 golfers before the tournament tees off, then just sit back and follow the action live. Rack up points for streaks, per hole performance, tournament finishes, and more. Outscore the competition and win. You can't get closer to the action than this. Millions of fantasy sports fans, just like you, have experienced the excitement of DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now to draft your lineup. Get free entry in the $100,000 contest for golf's first major with promo code FORE. That's code FORE, F-O-R-E, to play free for your share of $100,000 in total prizes only at DraftKings.com, the destination for 1 week fantasy sports. Eligibility restrictions may apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
This Masters preview is also brought to you by Movement Watches. Movement Watches was founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. The watchmaker's goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high-quality, minimalistic products at revolutionary prices. With over 1 million watches sold to customers in 160 countries around the world, Movement Watches has solidified itself as the world's fastest-growing watch company. Movement Watches sent us three, me, Riggs, and Octagon Bob, a bunch of watches. We look a lot slicker with them. I'm not usually a watch guy, but these watches are great. I wear it all the time. This company was started by 2 broke college kids that wanted to wear stylish watches but couldn't afford them, so they started their own watch company, kind of like a golf podcast. We didn't think there was a golf podcast out there like ours, so we started one. Movement watches start at just $95 at a department store. You're looking at $400 to $500. Movement figured out that by selling online, they were able to cut out the middleman and retail markup, providing the best possible price. Classic design, quality construction, and stylized minimalism. Over 1 million watches sold in over 160 countries. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/Fore. That's Fore. Go to movementwatches.com/Fore. Fore. Join the movement.
All right, Augusta preview. We're here. Trent, what kind of expectations we have here? Just kind of, I don't know, being an attorney for the first time.
I have expectations of being starstruck by a golf course. If you can recall, you and I were at TPC Sawgrass, and we were nervous when we were at the 17th hole. I think it's going to be a full day of that at Augusta.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. So we've been talking a lot about the week. We're here for 8 days, no big deal, kind of a big deal. 8 days. I think I'm genuinely most excited for this Tuesday practice round because it's going to be 87 degrees. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be, there's no pressure of the tournament. There's not going to be the crowds swarming, the final couple groups, anything like that. It's just going to be us and the golf course for the most part in terms of like wandering around, experiencing it, seeing Amen Corner, seeing, 16, seeing the area where Tiger chipped in from, seeing the clubhouse, seeing kind of how the holes come together. I just think that, again, without the distractions of trying to follow the tournament and trying to follow the storylines and all of that, just seeing the golf course and being there Tuesday to just see the golf course is what I'm most excited about.
This is another thing we've talked about too. It hasn't totally sank in. I don't know how you say that we're actually going to be at Augusta National. We were talking about on the car right here. We've watched this tournament forever. You grow up watching it, and then you watch it in high school, you get to college, all your buddies are watching it.
Yep.
You take the days off of work, you do drinking games. And to think that we're actually going to be at the course where so much history has happened, it's almost a little daunting. But the thing for me, and I can remember this, it happened to me when I first went to Wrigley Field. The first time you walk up the steps out in the bleachers and you see the field and how green it is, you're kind of like taken aback and you can't believe it. I think the Masters and Augusta National is going to be like that times a bazillion.
I do. I'm nervous for how awesome it's going to be.
Because it's not. There's in no way is it going to be a letdown. It just won't be.
No.
It can't be.
And even, like we mentioned earlier, just driving by Magnolia Lane for what was maybe a tenth of a second that we got to see down it was like my stomach turned a little bit. I was like, oh my fucking God. Holy shit. And now we're gonna fucking be there, and we're just, two idiots that a couple months ago weren't gonna be anywhere near the Masters. And I mean, I was thinking too that when you work a real normal job, you're sitting at your desk Thursday and Friday, not doing any work, just watching Masters.com, cranking the website, any live stream you could get, trying to see any shots of the course because you're so jacked up. The one time a year, springtime, Augusta, and we're gonna be there.
A sneaky fun part of coming down here and us being able to go is the jealousy and envy from all of my friends. And my dad and my uncles. They're all texting me like, are you really going to Augusta? Are you really going to the Masters? And I text back, yes. And most of the responses I get are some version of fuck you.
I don't think my dad believed me until I sent him that video of the 1/10 of a second that we got to see Magnolia Lane.
He was like, there's no way.
He was like, that's it. I know what that looks like. And I was like, that's right, motherfucker. I'm here. So it's going to be great.
With what you said was true, how we're going to see the course on Tuesday, today, if you're listening to it. But I do hope, because we have badges for Thursday through Sunday, I do hope we get some drama. And I think we will, because it's the Masters. It usually produces a good amount of drama. It would be cool to see Sunday kind of a crazy, epic ending.
Yeah, I'm so excited and anxious to see the golf course and see Augusta National, all that it is, that I think that I'm going to be pleasantly surprised at just seeing the top golfers in the world play. Like, that's something that's not even on my radar yet because I'm so enthralled with the venue and not necessarily the guys that are going to be playing. Like, seeing Rory, if he fucking rips a 66 or something and he's, in the lead is going to be unbelievable.
It's really interesting that you bring that up because I had not even thought about the players in the tournament.
Right.
So far.
And
It's all about the course, as well as it should be. That's what makes the Masters the Masters.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about it. We're going to be seeing the top players in the world play for the most prestigious award in golf.
It's going to be fantastic. Let's get a little bit more into the tournament. Weather-wise, today,
Shitty.
Monday, was a washout.
Very bad.
Horrible weather. Rain, lightning, you name it. They got it.
They closed down Augusta.
Closed it down. So we were potentially going to go in Monday afternoon. Closed it down. So it's going to be wet. But tomorrow, Tuesday, if you're listening to this, 87 and sunny. Wednesday, it's supposed to storm again. Thursday, Friday are supposed to be a little chillier with a lot of wind, which I like.
Oh.
I like that a lot. Well, that just makes it tougher.
Yeah. No, I want to see a tough match. I want to see a tough Augusta.
Yeah, Augusta's long as shit. So if it's wet and it's windy, it's going to play really long. And then the weekend's supposed to be nice. Looks like Saturday, Sunday are supposed to be really good weather, which is what you want.
We're getting a lot of a mix of everything.
We're gonna get a good mix. Excuse me. I think that makes it better for the tournament too, because if they do get some trouble on Friday or Thursday, weather-wise, they can always make it up over the nice weather.
Yeah. On
Saturday, Sunday. So I mean, I'm pumped. I think the stage is set. We're gonna get into the players. This has to be a year where there are so many guys I feel like that could win this thing.
I feel that way too. I mean, you sent me a list of your guys. I only picked 3 that I think that I feel good about, but I mean, anybody could come out of anywhere.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll kick it off with DJ. I don't really know what else needs to be said about DJ.
Yeah.
He finished tied for 4th last year. He doubled, I think, 17 to kind of take himself out of it on Sunday after kind of making a charge. Made a couple birdies early on in the back 9, and then, Willett ended up winning by a couple. But finished T4 last year. He's won 3 in a row.
I mean, yeah.
He's DJ.
He's right now DJ. This is the type of DJ we've never really seen before, and he's on the top of the world.
And we've talked about how he seems like he's poised to separate himself from the pack. This could really be that moment where it's like, okay, this is really going to be different.
Though he's won a good amount of tournaments in a row here that, I mean, good tournaments, nice tournaments, WGC tournaments, which are obviously big ones to win. But if he can have a pretty resounding and dominant win at Augusta, that's really going to make him even further ahead of the pack.
Rory's had a bit of an interesting start to the year after being injured.
Yeah, he hasn't played much golf.
No. He injured himself mid-January.
Yeah.
Went on that week on the European Tour actually to lose in a playoff. And then after the playoff to Graham Storm, I believe.
Yes.
And then after the playoff was like, hey, I'm hurt.
My ribs snapped or something.
Took a couple months off, and then he's finished T7 in Mexico, finished tied for 4th at Bay Hill.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he's one of my guys who I picked, one of my 3 guys.
Okay.
And everything you just said is correct. He's playing great golf. Hasn't played much golf. Hasn't showed much rust, which is always promising. But I'm just gonna pick Rory until he wins one to complete the career Grand Slam. It's got to happen at some point.
so you should have picked him every year.
Every single year.
It's not a terrible idea.
It's not fun, but it just has to happen eventually.
Yeah, you need to be able to draw the ball, or if you're a lefty, you need to be able to fade it because you got to move it right to left at Augusta. He does that. He rips the fucking driver. I can't wait to see him rip the driver in person. That's going to be majestic. Jordan Spieth.
This will be an interesting test for him after last year. Any
So-
of those demons.
Really interesting. I read a great article. I think it was on ESPN, about how basically answering questions about what happened at the Masters last year has been just as bad as what happened at the Masters last
Yes,
year.
I believe it.
I think it was from Zobel over at ESPN, and that's true. And this is gonna be kind of the conclusion of that.
If he makes the cut, and I brought it up, so I'm part of this, I suppose.
Yeah.
If he makes the cut and is in contention, we are going to get so much. Is Jordan going to be able to get the monkey off his back when he gets to 12 on Sunday? and it's going to be everything anybody's talking
And it's
about.
weird because he won the year before.
I
right?
know.
So it's not like, oh, this guy, can he break through? Like, no, he's already broken through and won the Masters. But it's like...
That collapse was pretty epic.
And we watched it earlier. We were sitting in the living room, and they put on the replay from last year, and it was...
The first tee shot on 12 isn't bad. He just hit the wrong shot. He said it's
It's
the right
happened to many guys, right?
Happens all the time. He even said it. He said it's the right club, it was the wrong shot. But then when he hits the second shot, he just flubs it. Straight flubs it, fats it, puts it straight in the drink. And that's what's hard to watch.
That was shocking. He says that he told his caddy there, Greller, hey, dude, I think we're kind of collapsing on the next tee. And then Smiley told us when he was on that, Jordan kind of joked with him, was like, oh, who's on the tee, you or me? After Jordan made a 7 there. So it'll be interesting, since winning the AT&T Pebble Beach, he really hasn't. I mean, he's gone T22, T12, T30, and then missed the cut last week at Shell Houston.
That's all right. I mean, not Jordan Spieth golf, but it's
It's not Spieth golf, but then again, he's just one of those fuckers that he brings it at Augusta. I mean, he has for the last 3 years in a row.
Yep. Bottom line, he's going to be fine. I mean, because he's Jordan Spieth. But I am interested to see how he plays, how he bounces back after last year.
I'm interested to see what you think about Jason Day this week.
I didn't even know he was really playing. I wasn't sure he was going to play, and you said he is playing.
Yep.
He's got a lot on his plate, my man.
So he said he's in a much better place mentally after his mother's surgery.
Okay, that's good.
To refresh those, she was recently diagnosed with breast cancer, I believe?
Yes. Lung cancer.
Lung cancer. And the week of the match play, she was having surgery that Friday. He withdrew right away.
Nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew about it. He revealed it. Obviously, devastating news. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to hear that. His performances this year have not been great. He said that, obviously for understandable reasons.
Yeah.
He was distracted, all of that. So there's a lot of reasons to say Jason Day, not a big favorite this week.
Flip side,
emotional shit happens at the Masters.
I know.
I was looking, 1995 was Ben Crenshaw when he won after his longtime coach Harvey Penick passed away the previous Sunday.
Yeah.
You had Phil Mickelson in 2010, less than a year after his wife Amy was diagnosed with breast cancer. He won the Masters. So emotional shit happens at Augusta.
I'm so here for a Jason Day story where he just rises above everything. He's crying on the 18th green.
There's always the vertigo thing.
Dash is running out. I forget the little baby's name.
We're all going to be crying at home. Everyone's
Yeah.
crying in the green. He's vertigoing. He's falling over. It could be wild on Sunday. If Jason Day's
just
in the
on the
mix.
18th green, he's trying to celebrate, but he's falling over.
I would love that.
He's one of the few guys where I'm more than happy to get wrapped up in a storyline.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. So yeah, I'm glad he's playing.
Yeah, it's always better when he's involved.
Yeah, speaking of Phil, he's another one of those guys at Augusta. I think he missed the cut last year, but he's Phil. I mean, he does weird shit. He'll win, he'll miss a cut, he'll fucking hit it all over the map sometimes and shoot 68. You don't know.
You don't know.
He's finished, I believe, inside the top 7 in 2 of his last 3 starts. He played really well with the match play.
Yeah, he did.
Made it through to the elimination rounds on Saturday. So, I mean, it's Phil. Phil will be fun to watch. He's another guy I'm excited to see up close. Justin Thomas has had a weird-ass year, if we're being honest with each other. I mean, the fucking guy goes... So if you want to go back to last fall, he goes first, tied for 23rd, tied for 5th, first, starting off the year.
That was a back-to-back in Hawaii.
Yep. And then since, he's gone cut, tied for 39th, cut, tied for 5th, cut, tied for 39th.
That was a weird... Ooh.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah. I think there's got to be some exhaustion there. I feel like he's playing a lot of golf.
Shot a 59 in there.
He did shoot a 59.
He's just had a wild stretch. A great stretch. I mean, even though
yeah.
you've got those missed cuts in there, I mean...
You got a T5, whatever in there.
Yep.
So maybe, that would really get the spring break crew going. If we get one of those guys to win the Masters.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Speaking of that, at Crew. I'd be really interested to see how Ricky does. I mean, he's got the win at the Honda, and then he's got, tied for third this last week. Oh, yeah. He's another fucking name that's right there. So
you're right. When you said there's a lot of guys.
That's why when I'm trying to convince myself with the Tiger news that it doesn't fucking matter, there's a lot of other shit to care about. It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah, when you said that earlier, I actually disagreed with you because I don't like when people say, why are we focusing on Tiger? He doesn't move. We don't need to talk about him anymore when he clearly moves the needle. But there are really a lot of storylines that we don't even really need Tiger anymore.
And on top of all that, we literally haven't even mentioned the defending champion, Danny Willett, yet.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's a lot going on. Willett hasn't really been playing great. I looked up his results a little bit. But then again, I think he was in better form going in last year. And he kind of won in a lot of people's minds coming out of fucking nowhere. So you just never know. It's a good field.
One guy you didn't. Well, I got two guys.
Okay.
That we didn't talk about. John Rahm.
Yep.
Hot as shit. Obviously, he won the Farmers Insurance Open.
Is this his first Masters? I want to say I saw that it is.
That I don't know.
I think he's a Masters rookie.
Okay. Then that kind of I don't love first-time guys.
No, but I mean, guys have. Your boy Bryson DeChambeau was in the mix a little bit last year.
Don't call Bryson my boy. Don't put that on me.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, Rahm's last 6 tournaments since the Farmers Insurance Open, or including the Farmers Insurance, 1, tied for 16, tied for 5th, tied for 3rd, 2nd, tied for 10th. That's a hell of a run. That's a guy trending really, really upwards.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm not saying anything people don't know. John Rahm is one of the hottest players on the planet.
It is his first Masters. I confirmed with the Google machine.
All right, thank you.
He's red hot. He's also tough as fuck. I mean, he came within one up and down of taking Dustin Johnson to extra holes.
Yeah.
And Dustin Johnson, like we just said, is basically head and shoulders above everyone else in the golf world right now.
Everybody.
So, hard not to pick him.
My last one. And this is who I'm gonna put. I'm not much of a gambler. This is who I might put money on because the value's pretty good.
Oh wow!
You ready?
Very intrigued.
You ready? All right, here we go. Drum roll in your head if you want. Adam Hadwin.
Wow.
100 to 1. That's pretty good.
He's 100 to fucking 1.
100 to 1, I swear. Unless I don't know where to go because I don't gamble. But I mean,
you know what? He's a great putter.
He is a great putter.
Which I like.
Having a good year. 2nd place at the Career Builder. He shot a 59 there.
Yep.
Won at the Valspar. Finished 6th at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. He's the guy who I've got a lot of confidence going into the Masters. And wait, do I have this right? I might have that. Oh, he canceled his honeymoon to go to the Masters. That's another story.
Wow. So, I like Hadwin.
He's Canadian. I don't know which way that sways you.
Maybe I'll place a little wager on him to finish like in the top 10.
Okay. You don't have enough
something like that.
To take it all the way. That's
100 to 1. That's tough. That's tough to hate. Speaking of odds, we're going to bring in our boy, anonymous DM source, Cap Father, the controversial one.
The guy, who may or may not block a lot of people.
Blocks people on Twitter. Chirps me when I chirp him on the podcast. So sorry, Cap Father. He sent a weird kind of collection of picks this week. I'm just gonna read his value sleeper picks. His other picks are just very predictable, basically. He picked like Dustin Johnson, for example, who's pretty good. His value sleepers: Tommy Fleetwood, 80 to 1. Not the first time he's picked Fleetwood. Alex Noren, 100 to 1. Noren he went pretty deep in the match play, right?
Yes. I think.
Tyrell Hatton.
There's a name.
100 to 1.
Ooh,
that's a sneaky. That is a good little sleeper pick.
Right with my boy Hadwin.
And then Tony Finau, also 100 to 1. So there's kind of a little crew right there at 100 to 1.
It's an interesting crew.
Yeah.
I always like root for Tony Finau. I feel like he needs to win more for me to like him as much as I do already, which is kind of a weird thing to say.
So you don't sound like you think he's going to win the Masters.
No, I don't. I don't think Tony Finau's going to win the Masters.
That's basically, you just said there's no fucking way Tony Finau
a little bit. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Adam Hadwin's going to win it.
So those are it. Get your picks in. Make sure, once again, you should definitely be doing DraftKings. Get in on that. Mm-hmm. Gamble. It's awesome. It's really fun. I don't know. Are we even allowed to say that? Gambling's fucking
I think
awesome.
you could say that.
Yeah, sure.
I think you could say that.
It's foreplay. We can say whatever the hell we want.
Yeah. Number one golf podcast in the world.
Remember, we have another podcast coming out, bonus podcast, Friday. It'll be out Friday morning, potentially late Thursday night. We're going to be going to a couple parties these next few nights. Rumor is Snoop Dogg's at one of them. So we're going to recap all of that. We're going to recap our first day of the Masters, which is going to be Thursday. So check it out, check it out, check it out. Download, subscribe to Foreplay on iTunes, Podcast One. We might be on the Stitches thing, whatever the fuck that is. What is that? Stitcher. Now we're going to move on to everyone knows, everyone's favorite segment from the gallery. Mattresses, mattresses, mattresses. This From the Gallery segment is brought to you by our friends at Lisa Sleep. Lisa is an innovative mattress company who have completely improved that dreaded old school mattress buying experience, so much so that we have invented a tagline for them. It's mattresses, 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 in case you haven't heard it. They sent a Lisa mattress here to the house in Augusta. Took a little nap on it earlier. Lisa mattresses, most comfortable mattresses in the world. No one wants to spend hours visiting those awkward showrooms where you're forced to spend thousands of dollars on subpar mattresses. Lisa has changed the game so you can now enjoy the comfort of a luxury mattress at a fraction of the price. The Lisa mattress starts at just $575. It is quickly and conveniently ordered online, made to order, and shipped compressed in a box to your door within days. Unboxing the mattress, which is half the fun, took me less than 5 minutes. Not so sure about ordering online? Lisa provides a 100-night risk-free trial along with free shipping so that you can properly try out the mattress in the comfort of your own home. So what makes this mattress different? At Lisa, it's all about the quality. The incredibly comfortable Lisa mattress is 100% American-made, love America, and comprised of 3 high-quality foam layers that provide cooling, contouring, and pressure relief. With over 10,000 5-star customer reviews, you can trust that this mattress is the right pick. Go to lisa.com/barstool. That's lisa.com/barstool today to receive an exclusive $75 off the Lisa mattress just for you stoolies. All right, we are now ready to rock with From the Gallery.
Everybody's favorite segment.
Everybody's favorite segment. Remember to send stuff in. Foreplay@barstoolsports.com. Check us out on Instagram and on Twitter @ForePlayPod.
Big time Instagram.
Instagram game is growing fast.
Blowing up.
We're in 40-something thousand followers. No big deal. Again, pretty big deal. Go follow us. We got good shit up there. Go send us messages. We'll read them out loud if they're funny, if they're interesting, if they're unique. This guy has a good question. He says, hey, how would you guys be able to talk at all about playing solo on one of the upcoming podcasts? I don't mean to sound like an oddball, but I'm looking to get into golf and don't really have anyone that's interested in playing with me. I'm a fucking noob, but I love the pod, so can you guys please keep it going and talk about this? First of all, I love the fact that we got a guy who doesn't even really love golf,
Yeah.
but loves the podcast.
Yeah. It's like, please keep doing it. Just keep doing the podcast.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really golf. I don't really give a shit about golf, but your guys' golf-specific podcast, I love.
Weird that he doesn't have any friends that want to golf.
No.
That would be my first thing. One, you have weird friends.
Yeah,
or,
he also
or you're the weird friend that nobody wants to play golf.
Yeah, right. He said, I don't have anyone really that's interested in playing with me.
That's a nice little detail from him.
Well, let me say this. It might be that since he sucks, his friends know he sucks, and they're like, we're not fucking playing golf with you. In which case, you have dickhead friends.
Yeah. So this is kind of a blessing for you that you have to play alone all the time because you're going to get better and better. And then when you do finally maybe play with them again, you can impress them.
Look, I love playing alone.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's way better.
Playing alone is great. You could go out for certain times. I would say make sure you bring some music. Mm-hmm. Throw it in the back of the cart. Get yourself a little speaker, a little Bluetooth speaker. Crank some tunes. It can be very therapeutic. Yeah. You're out there. It's almost like when you take like a nice long soothing shower or bath or whatever the fuck you do.
Yeah, you can take your time. I said way better. I should not have said that. Golfing with your buddies is awesome.
It's not way better. There's times when it's ideal.
Like, obviously on a Friday and a Saturday, Sunday, you want to play with your buddies.
Yeah.
But if you're going out for a quick night on a Tuesday, those are therapeutic. Those are good times.
Very therapeutic. You could play a couple balls. You could even, if you hit a shitty one, drop another one, hit it, work on a couple things. You're just out there having fun by yourself. So I highly, highly recommend it. to this guy, I would say definitely get into golf. If you really like the golf podcast, you should probably play golf.
The only downside to playing by yourself is potentially, this is very rare, would be hitting a hole-in-one and no one believing you.
I've thought about that many times.
You have, yeah.
Where I've stood on a tee and like you hit a pretty good looking shot and you're like, please don't go in.
Almost to the point where you purposely hit like a not as good shot on par threes.
That's what I tell myself. Well, I didn't want to get a hole in one.
I don't want to get a hole.
Right.
I don't want to get a hole.
I would have hit it way closer, but then I would have like risked getting a hole in one. I'm alone.
That would be a nightmare. That
What do you do? Do you just hold the pose and look around until someone sees you?
No, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. It happened to my mom's friend. She said she got a hole in one, and no one believes her.
That
for good
fucking
reason.
sucks.
For good reason. Although, deep down you believe them, but you also don't believe them.
Yeah. I have a good hole in one story.
Okay.
So it was told through a couple different people by the time it got to me. But I'm playing in this tourney, and the guy, we're starting to shoot the shit. We're on like the 16th hole, which is a tough par 3. And we hit it up there. Nobody could tell where it landed. So the guy starts telling a story. He's like, yeah, I was playing in a member guest at this club, and I was playing against this guy who's a member at the club who's kind of known as like a little bit of a cheat, like a little bit of a scumbag. Everybody knows those guys.
Yep.
So he's kind of a scumbag within the club, and they're playing a tournament, like I said, member guest, and this guy, we'll call him the scumbag. The scumbag hits like a really good-looking shot on a par 3. And they're like, wow, good-looking shot, whatever. They get up there. They're looking around. They don't see any balls on the green. They start looking around in the rough, Nothing. This guy, the scumbag, finally he's like, oh, I got it over here in the rough. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he chips onto the green. Everybody chips onto the green. They go to pull the pin out. His original tee shot went in the hole.
No way.
And he pulled another ball out of his pocket, dropped it into the rough, and lied and said he found it. They said they banned him from the club immediately.
Good.
And he didn't get the hole in one.
Fuck him. That's what you get.
What a scumbag.
I can't believe he didn't check the hole since he's such a scumbag.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
Check the hole.
Always check the hole.
Like scumbag, but even bigger of an idiot.
That's such a good... Oh, I love that.
So he got booted. Yeah, they said they had like an emergency meeting with the board and booted him immediately.
I like that a lot.
Next one from the gallery. This guy, since people love, you got to be fist fucking me so much. My buddy's dad's go-to line is, fuck me with a meat hook.
Octagon Bob, you probably can't hear him, but he's giggling.
Yeah, Octagon Bob was giggling.
We had one last week like this that was more thought out, or we knew that it had been planned for so long. What was this one again?
This was fuck me with a meat hook.
That is straight from the loins.
Yeah, that's really you. Like, you're so upset with yourself that you want horrible things to happen to you.
Like, when he says that, I think he means it.
Yeah. No, he does. He's like, I suck so much. I need to be punished, and I need to be punished by getting fucked with a meat hook.
Yeah,
which is graphic.
Makes it that much better. It's certainly graphic, but it's what makes it that much better that you know it's a real one. That it's really what he wants.
Yeah, I would say as long as your go-to little outburst here is not like racist or homophobic or something like that, you're good to go. So I like this. This totally works for me.
Maybe that's why the first guy doesn't have any friends to play with, because his outbursts are racist and homophobic.
No, like, we can't play with that guy.
We can't.
He says
he says horrible things.
You're just not allowed to say that are very bad things.
That would be tough if...
Well, what do you do if you have a guy who's he just yells racist shit when he gets a bad shot? You're like,
you don't play with him. You don't go anywhere near that person.
Can't go hang out with that guy ever. He's a racist person.
Yeah, but
you shouldn't be. A guy shouldn't be your friend.
No, you should not have racist friends. Those are not good people.
Last one. This guy basically he comes up with a hypothetical. He says, let's say Phoenix lost power. This has to do with the national championship game too, which was the night that we recorded this.
Yeah, spoiler alert, North Carolina won.
Yeah, huge spoiler alert. Let's say Phoenix lost power and the national championship game was postponed to Wednesday. Can you imagine if Nance had to decide between calling the game or being late to the Masters?
Wait, isn't that the same thing? Calling the game, being late to the Masters? Because if he called the game...
Well, okay, so I guess the hypothetical is, could you imagine him being late? Or would he choose to be late, or would he just...
I think he would just go to the Masters. That's me as a golf fan, though. Although the big thing with Nance nowadays, or has been for a while, is that he gives his tie out to a college basketball
So
player.
you think he's going to give that up?
That's the push and the pull. It's not, oh, this game is so important, I have to call it for my career. It's, I got to give this fucking tie away. Or am I just going to go to the Masters and call the greatest golf tournament in the world?
Yeah, see, I think, I want to say, like, oh, he would definitely just call the game and then show up a little late. But Nance is the Masters.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like you just have to push the Masters back. Like,
There's
no Nance.
We gotta wait for Nance. We're going Friday to Monday now.
Yeah, he would have been maybe the most depressed person in the world. Like, imagine his depressed call of the game.
Of the college basketball game that he has to do, like, I don't care, man. Just let's get this over with.
That's a great shot there. Like, yeah.
Also, luckily, Jim Nance lives a life where it doesn't matter, where he lives the best life, where he calls the national championship college basketball game and then goes to the Masters.
Not a bad spot to be in.
No, I think he does the Masters. I think he is more a part of that that sporting event than anything else. I'm
going to say he wouldn't do the Masters, but he would call a very depressed version of the game.
I almost like that better.
That's from the gallery. We already did the Masters preview, so we're not going to conclude like we usually do with talk of next week's tournament.
It's a special week, so we have to do that.
Special fucking week. We're here. We're in Augusta. Like we said, as you guys are listening to these words, we are inside the gates. Mm-hmm. We're buzzing. We're checking things out. We're calming ourselves from how awesome the course is.
We don't have our cell phones, which sucks, but it's fine.
We can't respond to all your cool tweets telling us how great the show is.
Yeah.
So actually still tweet them at us.
We can see them when we get out.
We're going to make Rob do it while we're in there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see them when we get out.
Yeah. So, it's Masters week. Everybody loves it. I mean, we're gonna have a special week, but everybody has a special week with the Masters. Like, you're going to be, this week you're not even going to work Thursday and Friday.
It's the best week of the year.
Yeah.
Masters week's awesome. Spring's here. Masters is here. Azaleas, flowers.
Jim Nance,
golf.
Green Jackets.
Check out our shows, live shows, 2:30, starting on Thursday. Natty Shack. Email nattyshack@zenogroup.com. Hit it hard.
I hit it hard. I'll keep hitting it hard, man. How about you?